Hey, I am, of course, a guitarist, because that's what it probably says in the title, and I don't normally react to guitar stuff, and I realize I should actually do that. I normally do, believe it or not, K-pop. If you're frequent to the channel, you already know that. And now the douchey part where I try to explain why I'm a good guitarist, I can't really explain it. I've been playing guitar for, who knows, 20, 25 years maybe, and master's degree in classical guitar, teach at the University of Georgia, been teaching there for 8 years maybe, hundreds of students, thousands of lessons. That doesn't actually mean that I'm any good, but whatever. Now, one thing I will tell you is these top 10 hardest rock songs to play on guitar, typically, if I was doing this with like a student or something, I would go and learn all the songs so I could actually tell you what I think about them from actually having attempted to play them. But I like doing reactions, and a reaction means that I haven't seen it before. So I can already tell you this Charming Man, I don't think I know this song, so we'll just see how this list goes. Kind of excited. Let's go. Will it play?
Charming Man.
Is my computer... Alright, my computer's a little frozen. Hold on. You write down maybe edit. Maybe I will actually edit.
The Smiths.
Hold on. Get rid of that. YouTube. 10 hardest rock songs. Let's try again. Good.
Sure, there may be...
Okay. All right.
Charming Man. The Smiths. Sure, there may...
That doesn't sound hard, really. I mean, it sounds like you got to know how to play the guitar. It sounds like a lot of double stops with some open strings and some arpeggiation.
And see if you can nail this. Chances are, you can't. While the song does feature multiple guitars, it's the main electric jangle pop riffs that carry it, live or in studio. Written by guitarist Johnny Marr in the key of A major, this Charming Man uses a raised F-sharp tuning and sees Marr channeling African highlife music.
I'm gonna say that it might be hard to figure out because he's in a different tuning, but it sounds cool. It just doesn't sound hard.
As such, the song makes constant use of arpeggios and a lopsided clave rhythm with only occasional chord stabs. It may offer a slick countermelody to Morrissey's vocals, but it also has a serious risk of crippling your fretting hand. Somewhere, there is a left hand that never gives out. Number 9, Little Wing, the Jimi Hendrix Experience.
Yeah, I have played Little Wing, and it is hard. I'm surprised that those two songs are so close together, because I think this is light years more difficult than what we just heard. Not just because of the notes you play, but the articulation. Articulation is how you make the songs the notes happen. So, for example, right, if I was going to just play this. Well, that's simple, right? But articulation, I could hit a lot of strings at the same time. I could hit 6 strings. And you get... And what's hard about that is there's muted strings underneath the notes, and Jimmy's doing a lot of that on this.
Although known for raging sax, wah-wahs, and fuzz faces, James Marshall Hendrix has his subtle moments as well. Jimmy sets aside his usual furious playing for Little Wing and instead shifts into Curtis Mayfield mode. Offering gentle slides, jazz-like chord melodies, and discreet whammy use. Don't let its slow tempo fool you, however, as Little Wing will occasionally switch from 4/4 time to 2/4. feature loads of unusual suspended 2 chords, continual hammer-ons and pull-offs even while gripping chords, and will require you to bring in your fretting hand's thumb to balance out the workload.
Yeah, it's an amazing song, and it's another amazing version is by Stevie Ray Vaughan, which I might argue is more difficult than Jimmy's original version.
You can borrow your church's Leslie speaker to help you get the right tone, but as for getting the notes right, only practice and patience can help you there.
That's true for every song that's hard, practice and patience. I've played this song. This song is way easier than Little Wing. It's not even close. This is a really weird list. This is super cool. And I think playing John Frusciante licks from Red Hot Chili Peppers, they're all in the same bucket. Jimi Hendrix, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Frusciante, and other funk. They all work together, but there's just less. It's hard to make this song sound good. You know, you have to be good to make it sound right, even when you get the notes right. But there's less variety of notes. There's much less to remember on this song.
Number 8, Snow, Heyo, Red Hot Chili Peppers. Picture it. You've locked your pointer finger down as a makeshift capo, got your fingers to pull off and hammer on just right, you've got a grip on the alternate picking pattern, and you've even managed to maneuver the groove. But then, the riff moves. Sure, your fretting hand basically does the same motions all the way through Snow, but then that's the problem. It's like skipping rope on a trampoline while riding a horse. Underwater.
No, he's full of shit saying that. It's you practice knowing as a person when you play live, you have things that you know you have to only hit once or twice, and then you have things that you have to do forever, like 3 minutes, 4 minutes. And so when you know you have to do something for 3 or 4 minutes, you practice it to do it for three or 4 minutes. So you train for stamina.
But alas, you see a glimpse of freedom with the bridge on the horizon, only to discover the chords are weird bar chords based around a D chord and half-muted harmonizing chords based around John Frusciante's unique relationship with the world around him. At least the solo offers some relief. In short, it's about as difficult as your standard Flea bass line.
That's also a disservice. The solo might not be complex, but to execute it and make it sound awesome takes talent and skill. It's not a shitload of notes, but you have to. It's like saying like a Christopher Walken thing or a Martin Luther King or somebody, where it's like you don't need necessarily the most complex words. Right? But you have to say those words in a way which captivates people. And in this case, the words are your notes and you're playing.
Number 7, Master of
Puppets. That is some legit, real shit on both rhythm and lead. I've performed this song live. This is a workout. You could argue it's on the level of Hendrix. It's a different style of playing, but this... and then the harmonized section in the middle.
Puppets, Metallica. Puppets may feature 2 guitarists, but either path you choose will lead to hardship.
That's true.
Following rhythm man James Hetfield may seem like the easy route, but when you're done obeying your downstrokes, there's synchronized arpeggios and even a solo waiting for you. If you've taken the path of Kirk Hammett, you get the workload of James plus solos rife with alternate picking, tremolo picking, pinch harmonies, and a splash of blues alongside arpeggios and other general riffage.
But he's not mentioning any of those sweeps. Those sweeps are pretty fucking hard.
Throw in a 200 beats per minute plus tempo and multiple time signatures, and you've got your hands full. Number 6, Scene 7-1.
Ooh, I don't know any of this. Who's Scene 7? I'm excited.
Dance
of Dream Theater. Oh, okay, Petrucci is a fucking monster. He's a legit fucking superhero.
Eternity, Dream Theater. With over 100 time changes and a complex, highly orchestrated composition, the Dance of Eternity is difficult to play on any instrument. Played on a 7-string by John Petrucci, the instrumental piece uses an entire smorgasbord of advanced techniques, alternate picking, sweep picking, in addition to arpeggios and...
Okay, I have not played this song, but knowing Petrucci and what I'm hearing so far, there's a good chance that this is the hardest song so far on the list.
Intricate melodic passages that are often synced and linked with the bass and keys, all while locked into wacky time signatures. There's no room here for anything resembling traditional classic rock guitar playing. So delicate and precise is the Dance of Eternity that a single bum note could derail the whole thing.
Oh, I know this is Dragonforce.
Number 5, Through the Fire and Flames, Dragonforce.
Yeah, this shit is unreal. No, I have not played Dragonforce. And part of things when you're good at something, you really know what you're not good at. And I think, if you gave me like a year, I could play the song, but just for shits and giggles, no, I could not learn this song in a couple of weeks or anything like that. This shit is, this is another style of playing. This is like Malmsteen-esque. I think Petrucci also could play this. He just didn't play this style on the previous song.
There were rumors that Through the Fire and Flames was actually recorded at a slow tempo and sped up in post, but that sounds like the talk of someone who tried to play it themselves and failed. Ironically, the track's weirder sounds may be the easiest to get a handle on. The Pac-Man noises? Scratch the tip of your whammy bar across your fingers. With the gimmick sorted, all that's left are some intense legato and staccato licks, over-the-neck tapping, guitar harmonies, and a down-and-dirty guitar duel. Meanwhile, simultaneous wah-wah and whammy pedal work means even your feet get called into action. Number 4, CAFO.
Tosin, oh.
Animals as Leaders.
He is also a fucking machine. One thing I respect, other than when you have so many guitarists that are so good, you point out certain things they have that other people don't. He has learned some thumb techniques, index, middle finger, from Victor Wooten, and he executes them very well. So he's not only does he command the guitar, but he has picked up some awesome techniques from other instruments and put them together.
Given Tosin Abasi's penchant for his 8-string Ibanez Tam 10, raising the $1,800 list price may be your first challenge. If you opt to settle for whatever 7-string you have lying around, make sure to tune your low E down to D, and watch as the struggle begins. There on, the song has nothing for you but a barrage of taps, alternate picking, taps, tapped chords, tapped double stops, taps, sweep picking, sweep, taps, bass-style slaps, and...
I still can't believe that Snow by Red Hot Chili Peppers, even though the song is awesome, I can't believe it's in the list. I think it's in the list because people will know that song and think it's awesome. But the Smiths and Snow have no place in this list.
Taps with bars of 8/4
All of these songs you've heard are like a 10 out of 10 difficulty.
and 9/4 time for good measure.
I love Dire Straits, but I'm scared that they put that after Animals as Leaders.
Number 3, Sultans of Swing, Dire Straits. There may not be any taps or video game noises, and it may be moderately tempoed and in 4/4 time, but that doesn't make Sultans of Swing an easy ride. Grab your Strat, switch on the middle and bridge pickups, and be prepared to learn a lot of D minor. The first major challenge will be figuring out Mark Knopfler's unique picking style, which uses the thumb, pointer, and middle fingers in place of a traditional pick. The second challenge is his fretting hand, which will see him take partial bar chord grips and create a constant stream of riffs loaded with hammer-ons, pull-offs, slides, and vibrato.
Okay, so I would take the Smiths off of the list and Snow off of the list, and I would put this back there in those either 10 or 8 spots. This is a phenomenal song. The tone is amazing. The solos are amazing. But you could learn this. You could study long enough, you could practice long enough, and this is actually within the wheelhouse of things that we teach people on a regular basis. That Animals as Leader shit, the Dragonforce? No. Any guitar teacher that you work with who's not a virtuoso, who's I'll teach you Dragonforce, is a liar. But any really competent guitar player can teach you Sultans of Swing.
While the fills throughout are challenging enough, Knopfler saves it up for the solos, especially the second solo and the infamous quick-fire triplet riffs that bring the song to a close.
No, those triplets are not hard. I mean, I'll just make up a triplet. I don't know. That speed is not... And I'm doing he's doing it with thumb and whatever. I mean, I don't know what he's actually playing, but... I mean, you just pick... You pluck one, that's one string, and then your thumb is the third note of the triplet. Also a master. Eric Johnson is not to be fucked with. This dude... He has an impeccable sound. He doesn't use a lot of fancy sets of notes, tone collections, but damn, dude, his playing is on another level.
Number 2, Cliffs of Dover,
Yeah.
Eric Johnson.
Yeah. I still would argue that the Animals as Leaders is harder than this, and probably the Dream Theater and the Dragonforce is probably all still harder than this. This is just a really cool song.
Apart from the dizzying string-skipping intro, this track isn't the fastest on the list, but Cliffs of Dover will take most of your focus and a lot of your stamina to make it to the end. Eric Johnson himself took nearly 8 years before committing it to tape, with a lot of that time dedicated to learning a classical fretting style for maximum clarity.
Well, Eric Johnson is notorious for being a nitpicker on everything, including the outlets he plugs his amp into, the voltage in the house or the recording studio, the cables. He likes to have everything perfect, so I don't think it took him 8 years to learn to play this song. I think it took him 8 years to be happy with his choices.
he wasn't happy with his performance, and a sharp ear will hear Johnson switch from a Gibson 335 to a Fender Stratocaster to redo parts he felt weren't up to par. But even if you don't hold your playing to Johnson's standards, you'll still have to work your way through a lot of string skipping and hybrid picking passages, or your trip to Dover isn't going too far.
He's a virtuoso.
Before we unveil our number one pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
Dude, I don't know why they picked Lenny. Lenny's awesome, but you could pick like 15 songs by Stevie Ray and they would be the hardest shit ever. I do love some Megadeth. Dave Mustaine is awesome, and their original lead player, Marty Friedman? Both really accomplished guitarists. And of course, Dave's from, Steve Vai. I met Steve Vai. That's for another time. Again, you could pick, with Steve, you could pick fucking 40 songs and they'd be the hardest shit on earth. He's incredible. He's incredible. He should have made the list. Over the fucking Smiths? Are you fucking kidding me? You think anything the Smiths ever played was as hard as anything that Steve Vai ever put on a fucking album? You're out of your mind. You might like the Smiths more. The songs might be better songs, but as far as the technical difficulty, get that shit out of here. Steve Vai would murder them. It's not even close. You could, put morphine and heroin into an IV drip on Steve, wait till he's passed out at 4 a.m, and then yank him out of bed, smack him in the face, put a guitar in his hand, and he'd destroy the Smiths any day of the week. Eddie?
Number 1. Eruption. Van Halen.
I performed Eruption live. Not that you care. But Eruption is awesome. Again, harder than the Smiths or Snow. But Eruption is awesome because of what it did to the culture. This is many years before Steve Vai. This is no one was doing this shit when Eddie did it. I wasn't even born yet, but I'm saying that nobody was doing this tapping dive bomb whammy bar shit when Eddie put it on the scene.
Taps had been around long before the release of Van Halen's debut album, but it was Eruption that put them firmly in the mainstream.
No, the tapping that Eddie did, yes, people tapped on a guitar. Yes, we have that shit going back in classical music. But I'm saying that nobody did what he's doing on a guitar at this point in time.
Played in A-flat on his homemade Frankenstrat, Eddie Van Halen claimed the piece was influenced by Led Zeppelin's Heartbreaker, which, oddly enough, doesn't have taps. Parts of the composition, meanwhile, are based on Let Me Swim by Cactus. Aside from the game-changing two-hand taps,
I'm right, I don't know Cactus.
The solo is loaded with whammy dives, legato, and tremolo picking, which combined make this a difficult piece to play at a high speed. Even Van Halen himself claims to have botched the job on the recorded version, which leaves little hope for the rest of us.
No, those triplets are not that ridiculously hard to play. I'm on a classical. I don't even know what the notes are. It sounds fast because you have two hands. You don't have to pick the strings because you're just two notes, one note. Da 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 da.
So, do you agree with our list?
No, I don't agree with your fucking list. I think that Snow and the Smiths are stupid to put on the list. It's not even close to put them on there. Steve Vai and Eddie Van Halen should both have a spot on that list. And Stevie Ray Vaughan. That's 3 people. I don't know who you take off. I don't know how you're judging difficulty. But whatever. It's been 25 minutes. I've talked for way too long. This is Guitarist Reacts. Who knows if I'll ever do it again. But if you're here after 20 fucking minutes, you are the shit. And I am out.